A little late to the party, but let's talk about the Ephemera 2 common manuals you can earn during update 5.2. As always, you'll be sure to use these limited time divine codes at some point, otherwise you'll lose them. We'll be briefly going over each common manual, discussing what skills are worth getting, and feel free to grab any if you need an extra merge for a project. For the two 5-star common manuals, these cost 300 Ephemera 2 each. First is Valentine's Lynn, who has a couple interesting options. First off, she has an inheritable blue tome called Blue Gift Plus. This is basically a dull ranged weapon, neutralizing all field buffs when fighting ranged opponents. It's a hard counter to blade tomes, but this weapon can also do nothing if the enemy doesn't have any buffs in the first place. I wouldn't say it's a must-have weapon, and Valentine's Veronica from the Tempest Trials has a pretty nice blue tome herself if you're in the market. If you do inherit Blue Gift from Lynn, you can get Ardent Sacrifice and Guard 3 at the same time. With only 4 skills to inherit at a time, if you want Attack and Speed Bond 3 or Armor March 3, you won't be able to grab the Blue Gift tome. Armor March is a sacred seal now, but it's still quite hard to get in the actual C slot, and we did just get a couple crazy armor heavy banners in the last few months. Overall, a decent selection of skills. Next up is Valentine Soren. He also has another inheritable blue tome, the Blar Blooms Plus. If unit is adjacent to an ally, grants +3 to all stats during combat. Pretty much an offshoot of the Avo tomes, but only requiring one ally for +3 stats. Would ideally be used with a support partner for extra stat boost and maybe even some bond skills, but ultimately not a super crazy weapon. Now Soren also has Rally Attack and Speed Plus, which is a dual rally, and dual rallies are quite valuable for arena scoring and being strong support abilities. Rally Attack and Speed Plus is +6 to both stats, and that's a strong combo for any damage dealing unit. Probably the most valuable skill here that can go in just about any unit. If you don't want either of those skills, you will have to choose between Attack and Res Bond, Speed Feint, or Res Opening. Res Opening is now an Emerald if you really want it, and Speed Feint is okay but largely outclassed by Ruse debuffs. If you aren't really partial to any unit or skills for this batch of common manuals, I would suggest getting Soren just for Rally Attack and Speed Plus. Moving on to the 4-star common manuals, these only cost 100 Ephemera 2 each. First is Caeda, and at 4 stars she has Rally Speed and Fortify Flyers, not a bad Flyer Emblem buff. At 5 stars, she has Darting Blow 3, which is on a lot of other units, and the Armor Slayer is effective against armored units. Next up is Odin, and at 4 stars, he offers Moonbow, which is a decent special on literally any unit. He also comes with Red Tonebreaker if you really want to counter red mages. At 5 stars, Odin has Defiant Attack 3, which is not a great skill, but he also has the Blue Blade Tome, great weapon for big damage if you can supply lots of field buffs. Third, we have Cain. The Red Bull can give you Wings of Mercy 3, which is a fantastic skill for dancers to get those clutch dances off. He also has Escutcheon, which is a defensive special against melee attacks. At 5 stars, Cain has Threat Attack 3 and the Brave Soul Plus for 2 hits on initiation. Sometimes all you need is a brave weapon with a Death Blow build. Fourth is Seth, who I love, but he does not have the most intense skills for most units. The Swap Assist skill is kinda universal on pretty much anyone, and Fortress Defense can be fine for specific defense stacking builds like Dancer Eldigan uses. Otherwise, at 5 stars, Seth unlocks Seal Attack and Defense 2, which is just not that great, and the Ruby Sword is a Triangle Depth weapon. You can just use Triangle Depth as an A skill with a different inheritable sword if you really wanted to counter green units. Last up is Rath, who has our most interesting skills for the 4 stars. He has Glimmer as his special, and he's the only unit with Speed and Res Form 3 at the moment. This grants extra Speed and Res for each ally within 2 spaces, up to +7, an alternative to Bond skills, and honestly not bad if you plan to stick to a defensive formation. At 5 stars, Rath unlocks the Slang Bow, which is a bit boring but effective if you got nothing else. Faster specials never hurt anyone. Additionally, Rath has Defense Smoke 3, and he's the only unit with the skill in the low rarity pool. As the only 4-star unit not from year 1, Rath has the rare skills in his base kit. If you don't know who to grab, Rath isn't a bad choice. That's going to be it for this round of Ephemera 2 common manuals, an okay batch all around. I don't really have anyone specific I really wanted to pick up, but if we get enough for both 5-star manuals, then I'll probably just get Lynn and Soren just to have. Otherwise, I'll pick up Rath instead. Good luck getting all those Ephemera 2 divine codes, and I'll see you guys in the next video.